Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to Prattville City Council Tuesday, May 5th, 2015 City Council meeting. Tonight we do have a public hearing. We have two items on the agenda. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilor Striplin. Here. Councilor Wood.
Here.
Councilor Brown. Here. Councilor Starnes.
Here.
Councilor Whiteside.
Here.
Councilor Bowles.
Here.
Councilor Boone.
Here.
Call this public hearing to order. The first item on the public hearing is a resolution to declare various weeded lots to be a public nuisance in ordinary abatement per Title 11, Chapter 67 of the Code of Alabama, 1975, as amended. Is anyone here to speak on behalf of this resolution? Seeing none, declare the public hearing closed on item number one. Number two is appeal by Judge Alfred Q. Booth regarding dilapidated structure located at 101 North Chestnut Street. Is Mr. Booth here? He's here. Come up, sir.
Yes, sir. I see that that building has been declared unsafe, and I would like to understand or to be told what is unsafe about the building.
Mr. Booth, I'm going to be honest with you. At this time, I'm going to ask you to get with Carl Wilson. I don't have that before me, but he's the code enforcement officer for that building, and I'm sure that he can declare that.
Is that it?
Yes, sir. We'll let the mayor speak to you.
And I apologize. Our building official is out of town. I think he might actually be out of state. And if you wouldn't mind, if you guys would entertain the idea of holding this for 2 weeks, I think that might be for the betterment of the city.
Okay.
Okay. Is it as a report, or any tests, or has the property been inspected? Do you know any of that?
I would think it has been inspected. So based on what the mayor has just said, Mr. Booth, we would probably hold it and doing that, give you the opportunity to get with him and the code officer that's out of town that he's talking about to give you the particulars of it.
And that's fine, except there's one other matter. Has any member or any employee of the city told the water board to turn off the water at that location?
I'm not sure. Not that I know of. None that I'm aware of.
No one? It's off. But it's not off. They turned it off the wrong building. But it was, I'm sure that's what that was about. And it seemed a little premature, you know, because I have an appeal time.
If I may, the water board is a separate entity from the city, and I know no one of this body, I don't assume this body has the authority to tell anybody to cut any water off.
Well, I went down today, and I said, well, have I paid my bill? He said, you don't owe any money. But it was turned off and a lock put on it, but it wasn't 101 North Chestnut. They turned it off on 101 East 4th Street, Dr. Weinrib's old building.
Okay. As I said,
well, if you would see that, if in fact that was done by the city, that they would undo it.
Yes, sir. We'll let the administration handle that. He has heard your request. Mayor, will you look into that?
Yes, sir. But just seeing some of the various department heads or superintendents or other officials of the city, I can, with quite a bit of confidence, say that is not the case. I know we if you weren't paying your bill, garbage wouldn't be in here. We're more into the garbage and the gray water and not the clear water on that. But and I have noticed you've had quite a bit of accomplishment or movement on your house, and
yes,
didn't know if you had any plans that you might want to share with us.
Well, I finished the roof on the porch that was burned, put the metal roof on as the Historical Society requested, in the color they requested. Now with that roof on, I can do the wood portion, the tongue and groove siding that is required underneath the porch, because that was what was there when it burned. And couldn't put that on until the roof was done, and also the decking on the porch. So I'm proceeding as if it won't be torn down. I was given a permit to maintain the property. It was inspected after the fire, and I have a permit from the city to maintain the property. Not to rebuild, but to maintain it. It was inspected and found to be sound structurally. Certainly needed work.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm proceeding on, is what the city has authorized me to do, and as directed by the Historical Society. And that's another question I have. It's my understanding that they determine, the Historical Society, when a structure is to be torn down, that they have jurisdiction over. Now, of course, I guess if it's torn down, it'll become a historical parking lot, which is fine. We already have, the Daniel Pratt parking lot. And maybe that's what the city has in mind. But anyway, there we are. 2 weeks.
You'll be through with it in 2 weeks?
Oh, I wish. You own an old house.
Oh, I do.
When you get through with it? When you die?
Well, maybe a little bit quicker than that, but no, I will double check on the water, and going back to the city. No, sir, I don't believe that the city does want it to turn into a parking lot, and actually with the HPC, now they do have some guidelines to go by, but as far as but it's more along the historic line of it, and not actually the engineering structure portion of that. But anyway, we have been seeing some progress. Any idea when you might be able to be finishing it?
Well, I could get the wood on it, probably in a month, 6 weeks, something like that. But it's never finished. Always will be some work on an old house. I would think it would pass inspection. But I'll proceed with it, and hopefully have it satisfactory to the council. And I appreciate it. And I was being facetious.
You were being Al Boo. Let me just ask you, Judge, if you will, and if that is the council wishes to carry this over for 2 weeks, in a 2-week time frame, can you make a report as to how far along in the time frame, at least possibly, so that everybody will have a taste of good faith that you're moving to complete it?
I will certainly work toward that goal. Now,
Yeah.
I certainly thought I'd have the roof on it before now, but it is up there now, and it's a good roof. I'm proud of the work. People come by, blow their horns. I think they're hoping they'd see me fall off the scaffold, or in support. I don't know which.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, and I'll see
Thank
y'all
you.
in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else need to comment on this appeal? Well, we'll close public hearing on that. The third one is an appeal by Richard Hill regarding dilapidated structure located at 843 Peachtree Street. Is Mr. Hill available? Mr. Hill is not available. We'll close the public hearing. Public hearing is closed.